All right, man. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Yasher. Oh, it's your boy Kudash back at it again. This time with the full installment of the Hebrew alphabet breakdown. We're going to be mainly working out of the Davies and Mitchell's lexicon, Hebrew English lexicon, students lexicon. We also have the Jacenius, and we're going to get a few things out of Zondervan. So, start off by saying all praises to Yahweh, man. Kawala Yahweh Zaba'awat Akkad, Shema Yasha'al, Yahweh Allahayna, Yahweh Akkad, man. So hear, O Israel, Yahweh our power, Yahweh is one. I'd like to start off by apologizing again for the couple of errors that I made in the last video when saying the words of the Hebrew. Technically, like, I wasn't, technically wrong, but whatever, technicalities and whatever. We're gonna break it down in depth today and really get it all going and get all the facts and stuff. So this is the in-depth. This is gonna be this might be a two-parter just because there's 22 letters to the alphabet. Some of the letters are a little longer than the others to explain. But I'm gonna try to get through it as fast as possible. So hang on in there. You're gonna get a lot of information though, a lot of facts. A lot of Hebrew word breakdown. So this is Hebrew dictionary, lexicon, alphabet, Paleo Hebrew work. Just all around, just helping everybody get the language. I think it's very important, in my opinion, to know the language. Okay, so first off, we're going to start off in the Zondervan and kind of just re-get, a little bit. We're going to go to the definition in the Zondervan of Hebrew, right? Under Hebrew, let's see if you have the full version on page, what is that? Hold on, let me see. Page 344. Sorry if I accidentally cover the mouth or the speaker and I get muffled sometimes. It's just really difficult to hold this phone with one hand. It's like a bulky ass phone. I'm trying to hold it with one hand without covering shit, and it's fucking retarded. But anyways, here we have it with modern Hebrew in column at right for comparison. Now, you see the chart. Okay, if we zoom in, we got... come on, you fucking bastard. Alright, we got Phoenician coins inscriptions of Dibon, 9th century BC, New Punic, because the Punic, Punic Wars is referring to the wars between the Canaanites and the Romans. Punics or Canaanites over there in modern day Tunisia, Libya and whatnot. Old Hebrew coins and gems. We got the Samaritan text, the let's see, what does that say? The Aram Egyptian, some type of, I guess in the time of the Aramaic Egyptian type, 5th century to 1st century BC. Then you have the Palmyra inscription, Hebrew inscription in Christ's time, square characters, the Rashi, and then modern Hebrew. And these square characters, this square Hebrew, this block style Hebrew, is the type of Hebrew that was used here in America, because there's like a couple of I don't know if you guys seen archaeology. If you haven't seen my Natives or Israelites video, I'm pretty sure I show it in that. Or at least I talk about it. I discuss the factual documentation about it. But there's like an arrowhead, and then there's like that stone that they popped open a native's, grave, and they pulled out this like little like black like stone, and it has a picture of like Moses on it with the 10 Commandments, and this form of Hebrew is written around it, which they called it block Hebrew, which is like Hebrew inscription, square Hebrew, I guess you could say. But anyways, they also found Paleo Hebrew as well. And as we can see, there's the Paleo Hebrew, a bunch of different, and also this is from the Davies and Mitchell Student Hebrew Lexicon. Oh, how convenient that we have the actual lexicon. And if you go to the Davies and Mitchell, you will see at the beginning of it, bam, there's that chart, Ancient Shemitic Alphabets. And it's that same chart that we see in the Davies and Mitchell. And just to corroborate, how we were writing it yesterday, there's, the ta, the ka, za, It can be, there's many forms. There's the Z, kind of like an I shape as well. The Wa, the Ha, there's so like I said, there's different forms, different ways to write it. See, this one's like a hook. This one's like a L, almost like a lightning bolt type. This one's just a regular L. The Mam, the Na, the Sa, it's pretty much, the same. The Fa, I like the Fa over here because it's more of the circular. And then especially if you have the oh shit, man, can you hand me that real quick? It's in that little black bag right there, that little black backpack. In the Ben Yehuda's dictionary. In the Ben Yehuda's all right, so in the Ben Yehuda's dictionary, right, if you start off in the Hebrew part of it, it gives you, look, the old Hebrew, right? So it shows you the same thing. There's the za, abba, gada, ha, waza, kata, ya, ka, lama, nasa, right? And then here we have the fa. And I like this. Okay, so fa, za, kwa, ra, sha, tha, right? But see, now on the fa, I actually like the way they have it written in the written. See the form. You got printed form and written form. And in the written form, I actually like the fa because it corroborates what I was saying before about the fa being like a spiral. See how it like spirals in? You know what I'm saying? How it's like real spiral. Okay, so, but anyways, so there's multiple. Actually, the Ben Yehuda's is pretty cool. If you just need a quick, cheap little dictionary, whatever. Ben Yehuda is actually cool because it does show you the Paleo Hebrew with each letter. So you got the the Aleph, and then you go to Ba. And I skip it. Did I pass it? Oh shit! Hold on. I'm trying to get it with one hand, and it's fucking difficult. See, and then you have like the Ba. So it's the Ben Yehuda's is cool because it at least gives you the Paleo. So yeah, so we have the Paleo. And then if I'm not mistaken, they take some of the Samaritan script, and they use that in Enochian magic. But anyway, so we have the just to go over the alphabet again, just to show. And then also, if you go in the back of the Zondervan dictionary, under the definition of right, under this is kind of cool, under tribes, it actually has the stones, like imitations of the stones that the high priests would have for each of the tribes, right, on the breastplate. And it's Lawai, and then Ra'awaban, you know what I mean? So like Reuben, Levi, you know what I mean? Here's Yaqub, so there's Jacob right there, So it's pretty cool, man. This, if you don't have a full size Zondervan, I would suggest getting one. It really is nice. It has a lot of good information in there, a lot of good stuff. But anyways, we're gonna go to under the definition of writing. We're on page 902 and 903, right? And here, okay, so here is where the whole fucking problem is, dude. Okay, so there's this guy named Jeff Brenner, I think, or some shit like that. I don't know. He's the one that came out with like this ancient Hebrew lexicon, blah blah blah. And this is what he bases it off of: so-called Proto-Sinaitic alphabet. Supposedly, there's some type of Hebrew script somewhere that looks like this. But the fucking problem is that you can't find that shit anywhere. You can't find no proof for that, but you can find proof for this, which is the old Phoenician alphabet, which is around 1200 BC. And like I've stated before, in the book of Jubilees, you could read the fact that Hebrew is the language of heaven. Also, Yahweh, and with the Ten Commandments in the Torah, he wrote the Ten Commandments with his own fingers, and that was in Paleo Hebrew, as we know. So, but just to show you that Zondervan also knows about the definition. See, Aleph, it's ox, house, but then they don't give you Gamal for some reason. Then Dalet is door. They don't give you Ha. Wow, that's what's cool. They have at least the W. They tell you it's a hook. They don't give you Zayan, Kayat, Tayat. Yad, they give you hand. Kaf, they give you open hand, right? It's like the palm. Lamad, they don't give you one for that for some reason. Mayam or Mam, they give you water. Nawan, fish or snake, and which is more like an eel, actually. Samak, not a fish. Why would Nawan and Samak be fishes? That's fucking retarded. But anyways, it's not a fish. It's what is it? Like a crutch, like something to hold, like a brace. And then you got Ayan, and they don't give you one for Zadai. They give you Fa's mouth. They don't give you one for Kwawaf. Then they give you Ra'ash's head, Shayan his tooth, and Thao is mark. So they give you like half of them at least, but they don't give you the rest, which is a shame. But anyways, the same thing. Abagada hawaza kataya kalamanasa atsa fakwa rashatha. Right. Same shit, dude. It has different forms. Like this is in Phoenician around 1200 BC. Then you've got Jerusalem 700 BC, Carthage 300 BC, Syria 790 BC, Papyri 400 BC, Palmyra 137 AD. And then it just goes on, and then it's the printed that we have today. So anyways, so now we're gonna start jumping into the lesson. Oh man, turn the light. So now I have it all written out, man, and honestly we could go a lot faster if we just like read off my notes, but I just want to like prove, you know what I'm saying, that I'm just not like pulling the shit out of my ass, because not everybody has a Davies and Mitchell lexicon. So we're gonna be reading out of the lexicon today, so it might take a little longer. But we're gonna start off with so we're in the god damn it, come on, you mother. Okay, so anyways, Davies and Mitchell lexicon, we got the the first letter, right? First letter of the alphabet, This is a numeral, stands for numeral 1, and also stands for 1,000, related to the word Aleph, because that's a Aleph, right? The Chaldean Alepha, right? The plural is Alephian or Alephian, right? Which means a yoke beast, an ox, or a heifer, and it's like a soft breath, like a, like you know what I mean, like ah. So anyways, so we're gonna get that in the Davies and Mitchell lexicon. So again, student Hebrew lexicon compendium and complete Hebrew Chaldee lexicon to the Old Testament with an English Hebrew index, chiefly founded on the works of Gesenius and First, which Gesenius. It says with improvements from Dietrich and other sources, edited by Benjamin Davies, PhD, LLD, translator of Rodgers Gesenius of Students Hebrew Grammar. So he's the one that translated, the Hebrew grammar, which goes with it's like a companion to the lexicon of Gesenius. A new edition, carefully revised with concise statement of the principles of Hebrew grammar by Edward C. Mitchell D.D. So he just kind of handles the grammar part, but really this is Davies, Benjamin Davies' shit. So anyways, we're going to dive into it. I just wanted to prove again that the wa is indeed a wa, it's a W, and the ph, it's not a P, it's actually just a PH, and we have also proof in the Arabic language, because there is there's W but no O, U, or V, and there's an F and no P. So and it's a sister language. In fact, modern Shemitic alphabets. Okay, so we're gonna just jump right in it. We're gonna get and then we're gonna get the related words, where it's just regular Hebrew work, right? And that's the shit. So the thing is, though, is that you cannot find this in a normal. There's only 2 lexicons that have these definitions for the letters of the alphabet. Because if you go to the Strongs, right, and honestly, you could hit up any Strongs and it's all gonna be like the same shit. If you go to the Strongs, right, let's just go as an example, real quick, and we go to A, we go to there is no See, there's no that. It just starts right off the bat with ab. So there's no like definition for same thing, like if you skip forward and let's just double check, and let's go check ba, and you're gonna see the same thing. That okay, see, and yeah, ba, and it starts off with ba'a, so it don't give you ba, so they don't give you the definition for the actual letters itself. And what's a shame too is that, because I have this other lexicon, right, we have we also use in this household the Hebrew English lexicon of the Old Testament, Francis Brown, S.R. Driver, C.A. Briggs. So it's the Brown Drivers Briggs, BDB, from Oxford University. And now you can go to here, right, and you'll see the same, and all they'll do, they'll give you, in this one, they'll give you one. They'll give you Aleph, first letter, but they'll just give you the fact that it's the numeral. It'll just give you its numerals. It won't give you anything else. Like, we'll go to ba and it'll do the same shit. Look. Ba, second letter, numeral 2, 2000, Same thing with Ga, look. Gamal, third letter, post-biblical Hebrew, number 3, 3000, right? Evidence of use. So it doesn't give you like a definite, all it does is give you the name. So at least it gives you the name, it doesn't even spell it out in Hebrew though. So then you have to do guesswork of the Yiddish to see like exactly, because it's not Dalet, it's Dalat, but with other ones, it's a little more difficult to do that with, I guess I should say. Like he, like this is, so it doesn't give you, this one also does not. It'll give you the numerals at least, but it will not. But the Gesenius lexicon, if you pop open the Gesenius lexicon, and we could pop this open and go to hold on, come on. This one also gives a comparative table of ancient alphabets. I showed that though in the last video. Okay, so right here. The name of this letter in the of the alphabet, which like those of the older letters is of Phoenician origin, signifies an ox, right? IQ Hebrew Aleph, as we are told by Plutarch, right? And then gives a source, who says that Aleph is placed before the other letters, right? And then it gives, the little Greek translation of what he's saying. The name of this letter is derived from its figure in the most ancient alphabets, which represents this rude outlines of the head of an ox, which is still found in the remains of the Phoenician inscriptions. As a numeral, it stands for 1, with 2 dots above it, it's 1,000, which, we don't have dots in our language, so, but it does represent 1,000 as well. We're going to get that in the language itself. But anyway, so the Gesenius and the Davies and Mitchell so far are the only 2 true legitimate lexicons that have the definitions. Zondervan kind of hinted towards it, but didn't really, expound. I wonder if the Ben Yehuda's does. I doubt it. Yeah, no. See that? Yeah, they'll do the same thing. Look, first letter of the Hebrew alphabet, 1, first, 1,000. You know what I mean? So it's not going to give you ox. Gesenius, like I said, Gesenius and the Davies and Mitchell are the ones that you want to go to. But today we're going to mainly work at Davies and Mitchell because it's actually, like, for some reason more, it has more to it. It's more explanatory. I just like it better. So we're in Aleph, right? Aleph, the first letter in the Hebrew alphabet, hence used as a numeral 1, right? But stands for 1,000 as well, or Aleph. It's from its form on early Phoenician monuments and Hebrew coins, right? Hence the early Greek da and the letter A, so that's their alpha. See tables of ancient alphabets at the beginning of the lexicon. Then we go down. Its name Aleph, Chaldean Alepha, plural Alephayant. So see that I'm just literally writing down what's in the definition. So I literally have the same shit written down. It's just condensed and not with all the extra, nonsense. Is from Aleph, meaning a yoke beast, an ox, or a heifer. In its old figuratively probably pictured as a bovine head. The form of the name, hence alpha, suggests by the initial sound of the force of the letter, which represents the Greek soft breathing ya, or from the French ha in om, but was quiescent after a vowel, right? So basically it's soft breathing, like you pronunciate, it's like the a, but it's like a sa, it's like you know what I mean, like abba, alaf, awalam, you know what I mean, ahab, just all these different letters, so it's an a. It's basically our modern A. Now we're going to get the word that's related to itself, Aleph, the word itself. Like I said, we're going to be breaking down everything. So now let's go to Aleph and see what we find here. Okay, here we go. Okay, Aleph. Aleph, future Ya'alaf, right? Proverbs 22 and 25, probably akin to Alam, right? Chaldean, Lafa, or Lafaf, to bind, to join, hence Aleph, a family or 1,000, i.e. a crowd, right? So it's like also means a family or 1,000, something binded together or joined together, families joined together, like a multitude joined together, right? An ox, see Alawaf, right? As being attached, tamed, or taught. So it represents an ox being attached, tamed, or taught, hence to learn. So this also means to learn, right? It says to cause, to learn, or to teach. Right? Also what? Bringing forth 1,000. So what? Tame or domesticated beasts, only of the ox or the cow. Right? And then what? Properly combination of numbers, hence a multitude. Then 1,000, right? Thousands, Aleph Yam. The object numbered stands mostly in the singular after the numeral. Blah, blah, blah. Says making thousands, i.e. bearing very many. A union of 1,000, i.e. of a great number. Hence sometimes, see, it gives you examples. Mashafata, which or Mashafaka, which is a family, a subdivision of a tribe, right? And then we see Aleph 1,000, Alafat, and then a bunch of different variations of the word. Now, let's see. Oh, now we can go to Alawaf because it told us to check Alawaf. So you always have to do that. You always got to double check because you have Alaf, but then you can add a Wa in there, which is Alawaf. And for some fucking reason, they always try to put it in a different spot, which is quite annoying because they're the same damn word. Literally, Alawaf, Alaf. So see, I don't know why they just don't root Alaf. So they should just put it with at. That's my beef with all this, lexicon shit. Hence, attached or familiar, a friend, right? So it's like the friend of one's youth, i.e. a husband. So and then see, it gives you scripture references, examples in the Hebrew. But anyways, we're just going for definitions right now. Firmly joined, adhering to, hence attached or familiar or a friend. So that's why we've got to become the ox, Yahweh's ox, the same as Ra, right? Attached or domesticated or tamed, right? A tame lamb, much attached to its owner as being tame, right? Let's see, i.e. heavy with young. It says denominated from Aleph, family, properly attachment, head of a family or chieftain. Because remember, it's like the ox, the head of an ox. It's the head of the family to whom the fellow members are bound. So see, it also goes into that. And like I said, that is why I have on my temple man. Oh yeah, we have the actual drawings here. That's why on the temple man, I have because there's oxen that bear up the golden, or not the golden slot, very sorry, that hold up the sea of bronze, and that's why I put Aleph. So see, it's an Aleph, and I just put Alephs because they're oxes, the ox heads, But anyways, so now we have, and I just like to incorporate our Hebrew, especially our Paleo Hebrew, wherever I can. It's just, okay, and then also it links in with the word, as we saw, awalam, or alam, right? And we know what that is from the temple knowledge. That's why I just put C definition under temple, because I already have that broken down, the awalam, and that we know that, and if you look up awalam, it means to be deaf, dumb, and blind. It stands for the area it stands for this area from the altar of sacrifice, the bronze, brazen altar of sacrifice, up to the doors of the port, encompassing the port. So this area right here, that is the awalam. See, awalam, and that is linked in with the ox, because this is where you sacrifice. You are the ox to sacrifice yourself on the altar, so you can ascend and come into the holy place. It's getting past the first degree of the 3 degrees of this temple, and then you've got basically like another 3 degrees if you want to think about it, because then you have the wilderness tabernacle, the Solomon's temple, and the Ezekiel's temple, and then and that links in. Those 3 are the same as the 3 basically the 3 degrees of the priest cells. 1, 2, 3 levels of the priest cells, and then Yahweh dwells above the heavens. Heaven is his throne. So anyways, so we got done. Okay, so now let's go to Ba. Ba, numeral 2, from Bayat, a house or a tent. The initial sound is a B, and we're gonna get that now. So I just want to show you. I just wanted to read that and then show you guys that I'm not like, I just don't write random shit. Like I write everything I write, it comes from directly from them. Ba, right? They say Beth, but it's Bayat. Second letter of the Hebrew alphabet, hence used also as the numeral for 2. Its early form of Phoenician monuments and Hebrew coins is Ba, or Ba, right? Hence the Greek, or this is where they get their B from. Its name Bayath Rabbinic, this is the plural for the rabbinics, is from bayat, or house or a tent, which probably its earliest shape rudely resembled. So this resembled like a tent, in the form of the name, whence the Greek beta, suggesting by the initial sound the force of the letter, which is like our B, or softer like BH or V. So they try to throw in the V, but it's not a fucking V, it's a goddamn B. We don't have V's in our language. So, and you can check that, double reference that with the, like I said, you could just go to the Arabic, and you will not see, you see a B, you see a B up there, you see a B up there, but you do not find not one fucking V. So anyway, so there shows you Bayath B. Also, when it's talking about the numerals, it's referring to, like, in the Torah, like let me show you guys, like, for the for those of you that have the Stone's edition, right? It's not, if you pop it open, right, and let's say you have 25, chapter 25, see, that's 25, right? That's that's verse 1, Ba's verse 2, Ga's verse 3, Da's verse 4, Ha's verse 5, Wa's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then it goes, to 11, because that's 10 and then 1, which is 11, 10 and 2, which is 12, 10 and 3, which is 13, 10 and 4, 14. You get what I'm saying? So that's what it's showing you, that, and that's how we numeral things, like for numbering in instances like that, we use our letters. So anyways, now let's go to Bayath. Okay, now we have Bayath. Right, Bayath, or Bayatha, Bayath. Okay, so let's keep going down. Right, any building, a covert, a house, a tent, a hut, a castle, a palace, a temple, right? For all these regarded as structures of things entered into were each called a house. Select. So basically anything that you could, like, enter into for some kind of, like, shelter. Let's see, i.e. grave. So we have Bayath can also mean like you could have, like, the phrase in Ecclesiastes 12:5 says Bayath awalam, but it's the other the awalam, not awalam, awalam, and it's Bayath awalam, and it means the house of eternity, i.e. the grave. Bayath in later Hebrew stood for a part of the house or place, as in Esther, like the wine drinking chamber, or like a banqueting hall. A harem, a place where the white is sent, a place of tearing for men, beasts, and the dead, hence for the netherworld, Job 17:13. A haunt, Job 29:6. A nest, a cobweb, a receptacle, a box, a case, a scent cases, smelling bottles, places for bars, a stony spot, graveyard, places for streets, where it says in general the inside, what is within, right? Opposite of kawatz, right, which is the out. Especially so in the adverbial usage, right? Towards the inside, within, something within. House in a figurative sense. What is in your mind belongs to a house. So when in our mind belongs to a house. So not, and the house also, because remember, the house represents the temple, because that's the house of Yahweh, right? So it's the temple. So you got to be inside the house. That's Bayath. You are inside the house, not in the awalam of the porch. You are inside. This is the second degree. So Aleph is the first degree, Ba is the second degree, obviously. So, and it also encompasses what in our mind belongs to our house, which is our wife, our children, people, servants, who taken together make a family, race, people. Hence, for all these, an example, a house of people, like Israel, a house like the tribe of Levi, or a house as in the family of David. See, a father's house, ancestral family, ancestral houses, chieftains, goods, properties, many cities and places as well. Bayath this, Bayath that. Let's see, what else do we have? Is that it? Yeah, it's just, and then obviously just house, treasure houses, house of records, archives. So it's just a bunch of houses. Let's see. Yes, okay, so now let's go to Ga. Ga, we're moving on. We're going to go to Ga. So we're just going to go right to it. You guys know what's up. Okay, so let's go to Ga, because I want to try to get through as much as possible. Okay, Ga. So it's Gamal, right? This is Gamal, the third letter of the Hebrew alphabet, hence used also for 3. Its early form in the Phoenician monuments and Hebrew coins is that, Ga, right? Whence the Roman D or G or whatever, it's the C. I guess that's where they get the G from. The C and the G, they get it from our Ga. See table of ancient alphabets. Its name, Gayamal or Gamal, is from Gamal, which means a camel, the head and neck, which is rudely pictured. The form of the name, whence gamma comes from, suggested by the first sound of the force of the letter, which is, as in the Greek, was our G hard, right? As in God or get, but with the slight difference between Ga and God, which is that has to do with their little, they call it a dogish, their little points. So that doesn't exist. So that really, it's just a fucking G. So basically, it's just showing you that it's a G. Now Gamal is actually kind of related to a lot of words, for some damn reason. So I'm gonna try to knock them out as much as I can, as fast as I can. This is like the longest letter, like of associated words and breaking things down and whatnot. God knows, it's because it's bearing this, the load. Well, we're gonna find out now. Gamal, right? Future Yagamal, kin to Amal. See that? Akin to Amal, right? And Kamal, to bear a burden, hence Gamal, right? To bear or behave oneself towards anyone, to requite, mostly construed, right? Hence figuratively to reward or to recompense, in a good sense to benefit, right? In a bad sense to ill treat. So it's like something, you're bearing a burden and you're behaving once. It's how you behave yourself. That's why we're supposed to bear the burden of Yahweh. We're supposed to, plow for him and bear his yoke and be his oxen. But instead we're fucking, and we would get requite, we would get a reward or recompense. But when we're bad, we get ill treated. You get fucking whooped, dude. It's with the ox goad. That's where Lamat comes in from. You get fucking ox goaded, dude. Gamal, right? Probably akin to Kamar. So it's akin to Gamar and Gamar, and then also Gamad. But so anyways, intransitive to mature, to ripen of fruits, to make mature or to ripe, right? To wean, right? I.e. to treat as mature or fit to be taken from the breast. And that's why it's because you're like the beast, you're not like this little calf that needs to still suck on its mother's, udder. To get milk, to get strong. You're now able to be taken and worked. You're someone that's weaned from the milk. See, look, it even gives you in Isaiah 28:9. That's what it's talking about when it gets talking about precepts upon precept, talking about when, who can you teach knowledge? Them that are weaned from the milk, those that can bear the load. So Gamal, we have Gamal again, right? Gamal. It says a bearer or carrier, i.e. the beast of burden, a camel, male or female. See, and it's the same thing. It has to do with the camel because the camels bear the load, man. Like, back then, like in the East, we use camels. We used to use camels to transport things, donkeys and camels and stuff. But the camel is deep, man, because it can bear a lot of loads. It's got valleys and hills. You know what I'm saying? Is referring to the fact that like how Zion is, how our Holy Land, how we were promised a land of hills and valleys and stuff like that, and that's how we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be like hills and valleys. We have our exalted people amongst us, our elders, our well nowadays they're a bunch of fucking dicks, but but back in the day we had our ox, our Aleph Yam, and then we had the base, the bottom, the regular people, and so it's the valleys and the hills, and then what camels are able to drink a lot of water and survive off that water, you know what I'm saying, through the desert. And that's how we're supposed to mimic ourselves after, to consume the water, which is this Torah, and then we can make our journeys through the wilderness, which is the desert that we're in now. Okay, so let's see. That was the first word associated with it. Let's keep on going because we have quite a few. Okay, so now we're gonna go to Gamawal. So we gotta go back a little bit. Where's Gamawal? Oh, okay, sorry, it's in the same thing. It's just over here. Okay, so we have Gamal or Gamawal. See, it says a weaned child, right? Gamawal, bearing deportment or desert, you know what I mean, to desert, like a desert, like being deserted, deportment. And that's funny because what do? They deport Mexicans, man. They be deporting our people, man. They be deporting Hebrews and shit. That's why it's something you bear. We bear the what does it say about, dude? See, that's This goes in with with the prophecy of Issachar, man, of which I'm obviously meant like if you they're Mexicans, dude. I'm sorry, the prophecies just it doesn't even fuck around. The ass that bears the load, they saw that rest was good. You know what I'm saying? They bow their shoulders to bear, and then you go to the prophecies about how we would build houses but not inhabit them, and then look who's building all the houses nowadays in fucking Babylon, who's picking all the fruit in Babylon, who's doing all the menial work in Babylon, and you see that's Mexican, but then they go around deporting them even though they bear the load. You know what I mean? They cast them off. It's like, come on. Anyways, behavior. It says a good or bad behavior, or a desert of the hands, right? In a good sense, benefit; in a bad sense, punishment. To return or to pay one his desert, or what he deserves, And gamawala, which is the feminine of it, which is benefit, right, or punishment. So that's what you get, and that's what happens. Depending on what load you bear, you either get punishments or you get rewards. Now let's go to gamad, which is the word above. Gamad is also related to it. It can mean gamad. It is to cut off or to divide, hence to measure, right? And it says, look, if you jump down, it says to join, right? See, as in amad. So it's the same thing. It's really, all these words are like related. Cut off, divide, because you divide, when you're dividing the load, you divide it on either side of the camel, and then you divide it into different bags, and it's just dividing. And then the camel's hoof is divided, even though it doesn't chew the cud. And then also the camel's humps. There's the 2 hump camels, But anyways, to measure, it says, look, to bind together, hence to be strong or valiant, because you bind the load to the donkey and it's a strong, valiant. A dividing, an L or a cubit. So it also has to do with measuring, man. It has to do with always measuring. A mighty men, warriors. So you'd be mighty, perhaps dwarfs. So it could even be dwarfs. In the opposite sense, you're either a strong, mighty warrior, or you're a fucking little dwarf. And then let's see, what else do we got? It's gamad. Which is related to gamam, which we're gonna go get gamam real quick. They're all on the same page pretty much. See, it's akin to amam, to join together or gather together, to combine. Gam or kam, yaman, a couple, right? So it's combining, to strive after, to long for, right? So it's something you're striving, you're longing for, to bear the load, you're combining things, And then also we've got, what else? We got Amam. So now let's go, because we saw that it was linked with Amam. So let's go take a little trip and let's go see Amam. And this is just to get more of an understanding of what exactly, why it's a camel and all that good stuff, right? Amam, right? To cover or to hide, right? To be dimmed or tarnished. Right, to join or to combine, right, and that's what it. And then this is also, for the punishment. You're dimmed, you're covered, because you're a load. You cover the load, right? You cover the camel's back, but you're dimmed or tarnished in the negative sense. To join or combine. What else do we have? Amam, Amah. So we have Amah. So we got to go to Amam, because Amam is related to Amah. Amah is just the feminine. And Amah, as we can see, joined together, right? Amath, combination or junction with, at, by, or near, the side of, over against, right? Wholly like. See, Amawad. So, and then we got Awam and Am. So let's get Am, and then we'll get Awam. So we have Am, right? It says, let's jump down. A people or a nation, properly aggregation or community, to bind, right? So it goes in with that community again. Let's see, what else do we got? Combination or union, to join something, also with that, and which also links in in the sense of definition of word definitions. Lawa also means to join or to combine. So it's like being, that Levi taking on that high priest, being like the temple man, among, amidst, at, i.e. at your house, near something, you know, so something that's among something. And then we got awam is the last one for this, for the words related to you know, like I said, we're just getting a broader sense so that we could truly understand, because like I said, there was a lot of related words to it, and all of this you can find in the lexicon. So awam, right, probably akin to awab, awaf, right, amam, to cover, to obscure, to be obscured or tarnished. So there's that again, to glow or to burn, to lie down or rest, or to do, or sorry, that's a one, to glow or to burn. So it's something glowing or burning, you know, burning heat. And let's see, because that goes in. What else do we have? Okay, we saw a wab and a waf. Let's get a waf first since we're closer, because it has to do with burning, right? It says like, hence, to hide, to shelter, to hide under wings as birds sheltering. So it's like a shelter, you know what I mean? Like, the you shelter things on the camel, you know what I mean? You shelter water inside the camel. Fowl, to fly, and then this also links in with Yahweh, that he will cover us. You see, it's in a positive sense, being covered, you know, covering your load, but then in the negative sense, it's to be overcast or darkened, right? To let it be gloomy. It shall be as the morning, you know what I mean? To faint or to swoon under darkness. So this is if you don't make it, man. This is if you're you're bearing the bad load, you're bearing the bad camel, you have the covering, you're the darkness, you know what I mean? You'll just end up lying down. That's why we go back over here, man. You just where was it? Where did we have that definition? I think it was just where it talked about like lying down. Or that's a wan, sorry. But yeah, that's a wan and mana are actually often interchangeable, but you know, whatever. Okay, so what else do we have? A wab, also a wab. That was another related word. A wab. See, a waf, it says to cover or to envelope or to cloud, to be cloud, figuratively to degrade. So it's just degrading, you know, because if you put on that burden, that bad, and that goes in with like Amos 5 and 26 in the negative sense, you know, you translate Amos not 5 and 26, which I went over in the negative sense. It's talking about bearing that load of the defiled Jesus, of the tabernacle of Jesus. Sorry, sluggers. Ox phone going off, the Wilhelm scream. But anyways, but yeah, so the you know, bearing the load of the Jesus of the tabernacle of Moloch, you know, because he's like the king, people call the king, right? Bearing that load, you know, that's that type of, you're in obscurity, you're in darkness, you're covered, you be clouded, you know, you're cloudy, you're enveloped in that darkness, you know. But anyways, let's keep going. Let's actually get Ahmad real quick, because this is also a related word, because they're called gutturals, and the gutturals are sometimes see, Ahmad, to stand, right? It's related to Qawam, as a pillar, right? To stand before, to wait on, to serve, to cohabit, right? To halt or to stay. This is like an animal, you know, you're waiting on, you're serving, you're standing there like a pillar. You're supposed to stand, you know, bear the load plus the person riding on it. To stand up or arise against, to stand fast, to persist or endure. See, that's why you gotta endure. That's making it through. But if you don't make it through, man, you're gonna wither away. Withstand or resist, to cause to stand, set up in place, to set up or erect, right? To appoint to office, to establish or confirm, which links in with the of course the temple teachings, which this links in with being, because when you're a mighty man, you're a light to the nations, which links in with the Manawara, because that also has to do with distributing into ranks. And you know, where was it? How did they put it? Where was it? Damn, lost it. Oh, that's why it fucking switched on me. Sorry, the pages. To appoint to office, to fix, to settle, to make a stand, figuratively to hold out, to cause to arise, to raise up, to cause to persist, to endure, to maintain, to persevere, or to preserve, to confirm or ratify. So that's what we're supposed to do, man. We're supposed to be that strong pillar, you know. It says it's related, akin to the Ethiopic tamaka, which is to sink or dip, to sink down, to recline, right? Because that's how the camels sink down, recline. To non-succumbent, sank, sun's dipping, to cause to sink or succumb. Let's go down. Trembling, sinking, dipping, So it just shows you with. It also means with, against. So let's see. Look at gamad. So you have gamad. So it shows you it's all related. All these words are like related with each other. And I know it doesn't seem like it, but they are. A place of station, a standing, a platform. A resting place, a station, a domicile. Something that's, you know what I mean? Okay, so we got Ahmad, we got Amada. Okay, and that was related to Amakwa. I don't know if you guys saw Amakwa. So let's go get Amakwa real quick. It's on the next page. And here it is. And what does it say? To sink down, to dip, to be deep, to be unsearchable, to make deep. Right? Make deep, to ask, i.e. below in the deep. Amakwa, to be deep, a people deep of lip, right? Unfathomable or unsearchable, right? Deep things, deep valleys, right? And that also goes with remember I was telling you, the valleys and the hills. So it means to be deep, man, to have that depth. Like remember, what does Yahweh say? That his spirit went across the face or the globe of the depth, man. Your face, the face of he went over your mind, bro. He went over the oceans of your mind, which is your brain. Your brain was stagnant, stable, not working, and then he passed over and electrons started going, all kinds of shit, right? And it came in and you became deep, man. Remember what's always at GMS, all these guys ain't deep, man. They ain't deep. You gotta be deep, These motherfuckers don't even know how to swim. They're talking about deep. Okay, so look, it talks about valleys, valley men, valleys. King's Valley, right? Just a bunch of valleys. So it has to do with being valley, depth. To bind or Amar. So is it related to Amar? Is it related to Amar? I don't know if it's related to Amar. Well, I have it right down. We have a lot to go through, so we're just going to keep on going. Okay, so it was related to Kamal. So now we're going to go check out another related word. It's Kamal, the CH one. We're going to go to Kamal. Oh, shit, it's raining. Rain has begun. Okay, Kamal. Right, it says what? Akin to be mild or tender. Right, to pity, to spare, something spared, to pity. And then also, if you come over here, properly to carry, to toil, to tire, pity or compassion, because Yahweh has pity and compassion on those that toil, that work for Him, that are mild, tender. We're not all bucking up against Him. That's why I said we're like a bunch of fucking deers caught in the nets, a bunch of bulls, crazy raging bulls. Okay, oh shit. Well, that's related to Amal. Fuck, so we have to go back now to Amal. Where did you get that? Where did you get that? But we don't get it fucking again. So we got Amal. Where's it at? Amal. So we got Amal, right? Akin to Gamal. A labor or toil. So see, all these religions, Gamal. That's what we start off with. Camel. It's related. It's all related. Because a lot of these letters get interchanged. That's the thing a lot of people got to realize. A few of the letters in Hebrew can interchange a lot of times. Because it's Amal and Gamal. See how it's Gamal, Amal. Anyways, Gamal, Amal. To labor, right? In all his toil which he toileth. So it's to toil, to labor. Amal, to labor or toil, fruit or labor, see, of the mind, trouble or travail, distress or misery, right? Troublesome. Also oppression or wrong. So this is in the bad sense, man. The toiling, that's when you're toiling for Jesus. You're laboring for Jesus. Laboring or toiling, right? Labor or worker, suffering or miserable. And look at what it links into. Amalakwa. Properly laborious. The root amal, as in Damashakwa, which Amalakwa. A descendant of Esau, founder of an Arab tribe, and it's because they lived in where Arabia is now. They're not fucking Arabs. Arabs are Ishmaelites. Collectively, Amalekites, right? What does it say? A very ancient people, troublesome foes of Israel, mentioned from the last, and we know what Amalek is, man. That's what toil. That's what toiling. When you're in that. You're either the good camel or you're the bad camel. If you're the bad camel, you're Amalek. If you're the good camel, you're Israel. And that goes in with the footnote that goes in Exodus that I've shown plenty of times in the stones that talks about how Amalek is the representation of pure evil and Israel is the representation of pure good, and that is the true struggle between good versus evil. Okay, so now we are on the last little leg of Ga. Like I said, Ga was the longest one. Okay, so now we're going to go back and get Kamar. But once Ga's done, man, it goes pretty damn fast from there. Like I said, Kamar is just really deep because we're supposed to be that bearers of the loads. It has a lot of. I just really wanted to get, just to, I just want everybody to have everything. Sorry, but anyways, Kamar, right? It says akin to Gamal, intransitive, to come to an end, to cease, to fail, transitive, to bring to an end, to complete, where to finish a matter. So see, this is why you have to be Kamar. Like you have to, it linked in with Gamal. You have to be the mighty man that bears the load in the good sense, to where you bring to the end. You come to a completion, man. You know, to perfect, right? You finish something. You become perfect, the perfected man. But if not, right, in the negative sense, what is Kamar? Proper noun, feminine, completion, right? Proper noun of a people, probably the Cimmerians, the Chimerians. This Kamar is akin to Chimerio, right? With Kimri or Kimbri or Crimea or Krim, right? The root perhaps being Kamar, to be dark, right? Which is Kamarai Rayam, as they anciently lived in the dark or northern. It's say that fast fucking 10 times. That's why it took me a second. Kamarayam. It's one of them's. As they anciently lived in the dark or northern parts of Asia. So Kamar. So those are the ancient, Germanic peoples, man. Because Germany is the northern, Germany and Russia and all that play. Those are the parts of the north, man. There's even a movie that they even talk about that, because we use the wrong map. Our maps nowadays, the modern maps we use now, are known as the Mercator projection maps. And I have the Oxford to back this up. The Mercator projection maps, when proper, like the more accurate map to use would be the Peters projection map. That's why that new clown that's popped up, I don't know if you guys have seen him, that Rashid, the Khalil Rashid guy or whatever, the Shahid Rashid, I don't know, some fucking idiot that Lexwell spawned. And that jackass is running around fucking talking about upside down maps, and his whole shit is based off of maps and DNA, when we know DNA is bunk and fucking maps are retarded too, because fucking they use the Mercator map and the Mercator map is wrong. But anyways, there's even a movie that talks about the Peters map, and that in all actuality, Germany's like the northernmost part of like Europe, and like that quarter, like, which is part of old Asia, but anyway, Asia Minor. But anyways, Kamar. So it's talking about that the Crimean Sea, and that's where you even get Crimea, man. The Kremlin and shit, man. That's that northern parts of Russia. So that was Kamar. Those were the sections of Kamar. And then Magog lived right to the east of them, which is ancient China, Russia. Like those are all the original Japhetic people were like Asians. Asians dwelt all up in that fucking bitch until they got mixed in and bred out. And that's why you got some Europeans that are a little fucking darker than other ones and have like a little bit weirder of a look. Like Vladimir Putin. Motherfucker looks like a white Asianish type looking motherfucker. It's because he's a mix. He's a mix between Magog and fucking, which is Chinese people, and Esau, which are the white people that took over Russia, which is also partially part of the land of Gog or Magog. You know what I mean? Like it's not that hard to put together. But anyways, so either you're gonna be like some fucking Crimean asshole, some fucking darkened ass. You see that there's where that darkness comes from. The Kamar, to be darkened. You live in the dark quarters. You lived in the land of the north, the darkened parts of Europe, man. The fucking, you know what I'm saying, man? I hope this is all making sense. Okay, so now another we have Kamar. So Kamar is actually a link because we have Kamar. So actually, let's go get, and this is the hard K. Let's go get Kamar real quick because this is a related word. Hold on. Okay, past it. Kamar. All right. All right. We have Kamar. All right, Kamar. Right. What does it say? Akin to kamash, right? To glow or to burn, to be scorched or swarthy. So there's where the glowing and the burning came in, where we got in earlier. like sun scorched. It means like black. It means to be dark, man. Kamar means that it's like another word of being black, dude. Burnt, scorched of the skin, right? Lamentations 5:10. We were burned, we're scorched from the feet. He figuratively to be warm or hot of affection or to yearn. So you know, in the spiritual sense, it's like to be hot, you know, affectionate, like all lusty and shit. Kamar, right? It says to plait or to weave, right? Hence, is so it's something weaved or plaited, and how in the sense of what, because that goes in with Levi, because lawaz also means like something weaved in. But what does it say? Kamar, how? An idol priest, either because of the burner of the sacrifices or because he was clothed in black, properly sadness, then a priest, as in wearing dark clothing. See, and then you have a related word, kamarayar, right? Kamarayar, which is the masculine darkenings or obscurations. See, kamash, look, remember, is the related word. Kamash was say to glow or to burn, right? Of the fire god of the Moabites. So it has to do with their burning sacrifices to their fire god, which is the sun god, which is the penis god. It also has to do with them wearing black clothing, and then also, you know, the fact that they were burned with the heat. So it's like darkness. It's being like, you know, and it's in multiple senses, man. It's multiple senses. Okay, what else we got? Kamash. Okay, it was related to kabar. It was a related word, was kabar and kabara. So we're gonna get that real quick. Kabar and kabara. Okay, here we go. We got kabar, right? Look, IQ gabar, which is to see, to bind together, to weave or plait, hence to be strong or great. Because when you weave or bind something together, it's like, you know, like this, like it's strong, you know. To make a great or many, to multiply, because the word gabar links in with gamar, galar, and all that stuff. And gabar means to be mighty. We all know what gabar means, so I shouldn't have to break it down, but it means like a mighty man. Abundantly, right? Gabar, great space or length, a stretch, right? Time, long ago already. So this has to also do with space and time. You know what I'm saying? So this starts linking in with being odd, right? And then kabara, a sieve, right? Because of its plaitedness or wovenness, right? So it's like a sieve, because remember, he'll sift us out like a sieve. So all of those that are like big and mighty and strong, and gabar and gamal and gamar and gamad, right? All of those, amad, amar, you know, all of that, you're mighty, you won't fall through the weavings. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're bigger, you're not gonna fall through the little shit. You know what I mean? Just take this little bit. You know what I mean? If like you're bigger, you're not gonna go through it. But all the little whack ass, it goes in with the vision of Pharaoh that Pharaoh had, the cattle that were all fatted, and then there was the lean ass fucking nasty cattle that came up and ate the first cattle. Like that's what it is. So those are like all the lean cattle, they'll slip through the holes, you know. Okay, what else do we got? Oh, okay, so one more. We got karaba, right? And it says length, a stretch of ground, denoting some measure which cannot be determined, right? So it's just, it also means a ride or a drive, like a horse run, i.e. an ordinary stage of about 10 miles, which a horse can run at one heat. So that's where we get the term a heat from. You know, like when you run like a lap, they call it a heat. Oh, it's heat 1, heat 2, heat 3. You know what I'm saying? Even because it also had to do with time. You know, a great hence adverb of time, like long ago or already, because that has to do with that too. Because it's like a heat of like animals. They call the animals the heat, which goes in with the burning or the lusting again. You know what I mean? Like that's like the heat of the animals. You know, they only have it every so often. You know, they're not just always in fucking heat. They're not just always ready to rock. They can't always get pregnant. They don't even have, you know, what mate. Put it in a nice sense. Mate all the time. They only mate during the heat of the women, the females. Okay, so now we have kamar. So it's almost the same word as kamar, except it's the other. It's the ch. So see a lot ch and k. So like when I fucked up and put samak and I put the ch, it's technically the same thing as the k. It's just different, and then there is no other word for it. Like I said, just sorry. I was at work. I was tired, man, hungry and shit. All right, but anyway. Plus we got it right now. We got it all right now. Kamar. Right. It says to be hot or burn, hence transferred to color. So it could also mean color. It's the same thing as kawam. Kam. So Kawam, what is it? Kam, the Kamites, the Hamites, to have a glowing color, to be red of wine, right? To be glowing, to boil or to ferment, to foam, to bubble, swell, or to rise in heaps, to be in a ferment, or to yearn. So basically, that's what it is. They're like, that's why the Hamites are like fucking purple, bro, because they're like the red like the wine. But the thing is that they're boiled and fermented and foamed and bubbled and swelled because they're hot and fucking burnt, dude. They're all crispy, yo. They're all fermented and crispy and burnt and shit, dude. And it says what?